Call Haloyim Yahweh, Bahasham, Hamashiach Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakudash Brakatham. Shalom. This is your fellow servant Tazawar from the GMS Orlando camp here with another lesson. First, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone whom rule well, and from whom we learn this truth. Shalom to Yakim who are not in GMS but are pushing likewise doctrine in spirit and in truth with all sincerity. To you few sisters that are listening and learning, as well as you speckled birds who are scattered among the nations, looking like those nations, to the 144,000 elect men and the rest of the hopeful elect, to you I say, Shalom. This lesson is inspired by some videos that other brothers have previously put out. All right. Not necessarily in the Orlando camp, but the the greater GMS organization, where Akim we're going into different scriptures concerning the end times. And you keep hearing to the ends of the earth, or to the utmost corner, right, of the earth. And how that relates to being over here in the Western Hemisphere, okay, as well as making the connection to Babylon the Great, or Mystery Babylon, or the daughter of Babylon, the great whore, if you will, all right, Lady Liberty, being these 50 states known as the U.S. of A., all right, the land of our captivity, okay, the land of our punishment. Okay, now our nation, we've been in and out of captivities since Egypt, and we've been back home a few times and been exiled, and then we go back home and we get put out again, right? Well, there's a captivity spoken of in throughout the scriptures, all right, especially in the book of Deuteronomy, where it talks about being scattered to the four winds, or being scattered to the ends of the earth, right? Well, the Lord said he will scatter us in corners, right? When you go into the book of Deuteronomy, I believe the 36th chapter, 32nd and the 36th chapter, saying that he will scatter Israel into corners, right? Well, what does the utmost mean, and what does the end of the earth mean? Well, it means over here to the Americas, okay, the Western Hemisphere, okay? And we also know that in the Western Hemisphere resides the whore, the daughter of Babylon, or Mystery Babylon, okay, whom we know to be the U.S. of A., Lady Liberty, okay, land of the free, home of the brave, the Americas, okay. So we're just going to prove through scripture that when the Lord said he will scatterers to the ends of the earth and into corners, that he was talking about specifically this American captivity. All right. That we've experienced the time of antebellum and all of that shit over here. Okay. Let's start with let's grab the book of Isaiah, 48th chapter, and let's just get 20. All right, I was going to start up a little bit. Let's just get cut to the chase. All right, get to the meat of that thing. This is Isaiah 48th chapter and the 20th verse, and it reads, "Go ye forth of Babylon, right? Flee ye from the Chaldeans with a voice of singing. Declare ye, tell this, utter it even to the end of the earth. Say ye, the Lord hath redeemed his servant Jacob." All right. Have redeemed his servant Jacob. Now keep in mind, that Isaiah, was on the scene during that, between the time period of, like, in between the Assyrians and the Babylonians. Okay. Before we went into the Babylonian captivity. All right. I believe when you go to the first chapter, it talks about Isaiah. I believe it's Hezekiah. Is he around Hezekiah? Let's just get it real quick and see. Yeah. So Isaiah was around during the time of Hezekiah, right? So we know that the northern kingdom had already went off. Okay, during and prior to the Assyrian captivity. Okay, so Hezekiah was actually considered one of the righteous kings of Judah, right, the southern kingdom. But again, this is speaking of what? Future. Okay, future prophecy. And this is also how we know there are other scripts. Let me see. There are other scripts in here where Babylon is mentioned, right? And it talks about Babylon being left desolate. Well, we know that during that Babylon that's being spoken of, Salakia, is prophetic to Babylon the Great. All right? Because we know the landmass of Babylon is where? That's modern day Iraq. Okay? So that land is still inhabited. Just food for thought. Let's get this one. Isaiah's going on. Let's see. Let's start at 3. Isaiah 49 and 3. "And said unto me, Thou art my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified. Then I said, I have labored in vain. I have spent my strength for naught, and in vain. Yet surely my judgment is with the Lord Yahweh, and my work with my God. And now, saith the Lord, that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him, right? Though Israel be not gathered, yet shall I be glorified, Salaki, yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Lord, and my power shall be my strength, and my God shall be my strength, right? Verse 6, and he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob and to restore the preserved of Israel. Okay, I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth. Okay, now again, during this time, we know the northern kingdom had already went off horribly, okay, under the Assyrians. Now remember, during that time period as well, under the Assyrian, after the Assyrian captivity, in the Apocrypha, it tells us what? That the northern kingdom made their way to this side of the earth. Okay, it speaks of where never mankind dwelt. Okay, I'm not going to get it, but if you've been listening into the videos, you have an idea of what I'm speaking on. Okay, I'm gonna read 6 again. It says, and he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to raise up the tribes of Jacob, okay, southern kingdom, and to restore the preserved of Israel. Okay. I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles. Okay, now we know when you go and you get the full understanding of the scripture, the light to the Gentiles is what? First and foremost to the scattered sheep. All right. Then to the heathen nations. Okay. Oh, you know what? End of the earth. Let's grab that phrase. We saw it in 2 verses, right? Same book. And it is Katash, right?
Strong's H, 7097. Katse.
Katsia.
Katse.
Katsia. Katsia. All right, that's how you say it. Katsia. And it means end, extremity, right? End, mouth, extremity, border, outskirts. Okay? Outskirts. The whole, condensed term for what is included within extremities, right? Or D, at the end of, right? It says a certain time, but at the end of. Okay? We know an extremity is dealing with something physical, and so is a border. Okay? So at the end of it doesn't have to mean time, but it's the end. And that should be quite evident because it means the end. That's how it's translated, right? The earth. Arat, right? Arat.
Strong's H, 776. Eretz. Eretz.
Eretz, Arat. Land, earth, whole earth. All right? As opposed to a part. So the whole earth. All right? And then it says what? Earth as opposed to heaven. Okay? Land. Then it says country, territory, district, region, tribal territory, piece of ground. When you keep going, it says what? Down here at E, it says lands, countries, right? Land of the living. Ends. Oh, look at this one. Letter D in the fifth bullet point. It says ends of the earth. Ends of the earth. And this word arash just means earth. But it's saying here, giving you, denoting that it's talking about what? To the end, the rear, the far corners. Okay? Arat. Now, let's get Jeremiah real quick. Jeremiah 25. And I'm pulling these out so you guys can see that these are future prophecies. Okay? They're easy to get you know, a lot of people say, "Oh, we know that happened in the Babylonian captivity in the ancient times." Well, you got to remember, like Isaiah, right? That was before Babylon hit. Now, he did prophesy of Israel being taken down by the Babylonians or the Judeans, right? The southern kingdom being taken down by the Babylonians because of the laws that we were breaking, all right, and the treachery and all of the idolatry and all of that. That did happen. But again, when you look and you go into some of the finer details, you can see that these things apply to what? The Babylon on this side, right? On this side of the earth. Like this one. Let's see. Jeremiah 25. Then took I the cup, 25 and 17, Salakia. Then took I the cup at the Lord's hand and made all the nations to drink, right, unto whom the Lord hath sent me, to wit, Jerusalem and the cities of Judah and the kings thereof and the princes thereof, to make them a desolation and astonishment and hissing and a curse as it is this day, right? Pharaoh king of Egypt and his servants and his princes and all his people and all the mingled people and all the kings of the land of Uz, all the kings of the land of the Philistines and Ashkelon and Azah and Ekron and the remnant of Ashdod, Edom and Moab and the children of Ammon and all the kings of Tyrus and all the kings of Zidon and the kings of the isles which are beyond the sea, right? Which the isles which are beyond the sea, and Dedan and Tamar and Booz, and all that are in the utmost corners, right? The utmost corners. So again, we constantly read that these nations right here, basically throughout the scriptures, are the enemies of the Heavenly Father. Okay? And these are the same people who've been oppressing us generation after generation after generation. Okay? But what's the giveaway? It says to the utmost corners. Right? Because during this time, remember, Jeremiah was after Isaiah, but before the Greeks and the Greco-Roman occupation. Okay? So Edom hadn't really come in power yet. Right? Moab and Ammon, yeah, we know they some rotten devils. They wouldn't let us pass by, right? when we was leaving Egypt. But when you look at when you go into Psalms and all of these and Proverbs, and when you read, David was talking about these same nations, man. That these people make a tumult. These nations make a tumult. Tumult. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Tulmut. Tumult. All right. Anyway, let's get utmost corners. So we know corners, right? Utmost.
Strong's H7112. Katsats. Katsats.
Katsat. Katsat. Right? Katsat. Means to cut off, right? That ain't the one I want. That ain't the utmost corner I want. All right, it's another one. I'm going to grab Salakia. We're going to keep reading there. "23. Utmost corners. 24. And all the kings of Arabia, and all the kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert, and all the kings of Zimri, and all the kings of Elam, and all the kings of the Medes," right? "And all the kings of the north, far and near," right? "One with another, and all the kingdoms of the world which are upon the face of the earth, and the king of Shishak shall drink after them. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, drink ye and be drunken and spew and fall and rise no more because of the sword which I will send among you." Now we know that what? These nations rose again because why? They are thriving today. This is how you know what? Future prophecy. Okay? Damn, it's that word utmost. It's another one I want to get. Because utmost got like 3 or 4 different translations. Verse 28. "And it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup at thine hand to drink, then shalt thou say unto them, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, ye shall certainly drink. For lo, I begin to bring evil on the city which is called by my name, and should ye be utterly unpunished? Ye shall not be unpunished, for I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth, saith the Lord of hosts." Right? Which is not taking place yet. During the time Jeremiah is speaking on it. It hadn't taken place yet. Not upon all the earth. Okay? Again, this is future prophecy. So this is how we also know, again, that when Babylon is mentioned in verses like this, it hasn't taken place. It wasn't talking about the Babylonian Empire under like Nebuchadnezzar and them. Okay? 30. "Therefore prophesy thou against them all these words, and say unto them, The Lord shall roar from on high, and utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout as they that tread the grapes against all the inhabitants of the earth. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth." All right? Even to the ends of the earth. We're going to grab that ends of the earth again. It's probably going to say the same thing. Let me see if utmost was down here somewhere. All right. 31. It says, a noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord have a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them that they are wicked to the sword, saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth, and the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground. All right. So we got we went into that end of the earth in the previous verse. Let's see if it say the same thing here. Right here in verse 31 in the linear, right? Yeah. Quatzia and Aratz, right? Same thing. What that joint I wanted that had utmost? Shalaki real quick. We're going to grab that word utmost in another verse. All right. But again, let's go to Jeremiah 51 and 24. All right. Just to prove that this is talking about, again, this side, the Babylon on this side of the waters. Okay. Jeremiah 51:24, and I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith the Lord. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord Yahweh, which destroyeth all the earth. And I shall stretch out mine hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks. I will make thee a burnt mountain. Right? And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be desolate forever, saith the Lord. So again, these, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, these are prophecies that have not taken place yet. Because why? Ancient Babylon, right? During the time of the Babylonians, of the past, that landmass is currently Iraq. And we know Iraq is inhabited with millions of people currently. It's war ridden, but it's currently inhabited with millions of people, right? So it's not a desolation. It says what? And they shall, verse 26, it says, and they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be a desolate, which means ain't gonna be no buildings over there, man. So when we read these prophecies, this is how we know that it's not talking about ancient Babylon. It's talking about Babylon the Great, or Mystery Babylon. Okay? That's that. Let me see. Maybe Joel 2. Maybe this is where I wanted the utmost at. Hold on. Salaki, it wasn't Joel. Joel, I'm going to get next. All right? It was right here. Jeremiah 50. I found it. Jeremiah 50. And Jeremiah 50 and 26 is the point. I'm gonna start at 24. It reads, this is Jeremiah 50 and 24. It says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. The Lord hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord God of hosts, right? In the land of the Chaldeans, come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. All right. Again, we know that what? This is talking about sheer destruction, okay, of Babylon. Well, Iraq is not totally destroyed. But it says what? Come against her from the utmost border. Let's look at this. So when you apply this to today, right? Future prophecy, and then what?
Strong's H 7093. Kate's.
And it reads, this is H7093, right? It says end at the end of time, or end of space, right? Let's grab this root word. Quatsah, to be cut off, right? Which is the root word that we grabbed in the other verse in Isaiah, right? So end of space. It says utmost border. When you look at the strong definition, it says after border, end, right? An extremity. Okay, an extremity. I bet it was Joel. I might have doubted myself. I bet it wasn't Joel. It's Joel 2 and yeah, 2 and 20. This it. And it reads, hey, shout out to the big brother Azaria for you pointing out the directional meanings, right, of certain words. Joel 2 and 20. And it reads, but I will remove far off from you the northern army. All right. I will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward the east sea, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea, right? And his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he had done great things. All right, so we're going to get two out of this verse. Two words I want to get. First, let's go ahead and get the utmost, like I was been trying to find. Finally got that, Joker. This it. Aharon. Right? Aharon. Here it go.
Strong's H 314. Acharon. Acharon.
What it means, behind, following, subsequent, western. What hemisphere are we in? The western hemisphere. Right? So when we talk about being scattered to the ends of the earth, or to the utmost parts or the utmost corners of the earth, it's talking about what? To the rear. We got the root word of the other translation of the how you say what means in, right? So this is another one, aharon, translated to a similar thing. It means behind, following, subsequent, western. Behind, hindermost, right? Hindermost means your backside. It says western of location. Ladder, behind, right? Subsequent, ladder, last. Right now, let's get this word right here. Ahar. Delay, hesitate, keep back, hinder, right? If you look at A, in that second bullet point, it say what? Hinder, and then B, it says to delay, wait, stay behind. All right? To delay, hesitate, tarry, defer, remain behind. So, behind or to the rear, to the end, to the western side. So, western means back or in. East has to mean what? It got to mean front. Right? Let's get that word. And it do. This is it say eastern, right? Kadmoni, former ancient eastern, former ancient. All right, I got another one for east. Let's grab, you know what? I got the perfect verse to go to. Let's hit Genesis 3 and where I'm at. Running over a little bit. So like it. 3 and 24. Now, this is after what? This is after Adam and Eve took of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, right? We was cast from the garden. It says, so he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the garden of Eden cherubims, right? And a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. Let's get this word east. Qadam, right? Qadam.
Strong's H 6924. Kedem. Kedem.
Qadam. It says east. Now remember the other one said what? Eastern or ancient. This says east, antiquity, which goes into ancient, right? But what else do it mean? front. That which is before or aforetime. Front. From the front or east, in front. Mount of the east, ancient time. Right? So the front, what we found out here is that the front is not north. The front is to the east. All right? The front is to the east. Hey, the Lord is cold, man. He designed it so we would go into captivity to the ends of the earth, right? To the rear, to the utmost corners, to where when we pray, when we turn to call on Him, when we face the east, we're facing the front of creation, right? We know we turn to the east. Why? Because the temple is in the east. But again, we turn toward the front of creation. This is why I say, well, He put a garden east in Eden. So He put a garden in the front of Eden. All right. So is this starting to make sense a little bit? So Western Hemisphere, it's like that where we got the utmost out of Joel 2, right? Meaning hinder or western or rear, right? And are we not in the Western Hemisphere? Okay. And this is why when we hear about the Messiah coming back, right? Says we're going to see Him coming from the east. He's going to come from the east, eastward, and make His way over here to the west. So this is how everybody going to see Him. Well, we know the sky going to crack, and that ship going to be big than a mug. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. But His path of travel is going to be from the front to the rear of His creation. So everybody going to get a glimpse. Cherubims lifted up their wings and mounted up from the earth in my sight. They went out, the wheels also were beside them. Everyone stood at the door of the east gate of the Lord's house. And the glory of the God of Israel was over them above. Right? Over and above them. At the east gate. Now let's see if this word east gonna be the same. Now this in the Lord's house now. It's that same word before that denotes direction. Former ancient Eastern, right? Former ancient Eastern. But then let's see if we get this word. Quadam, Eastern. Quadam, the root word. When you go to the root of that word, then you go to the root word quadam, to meet, come, or be in front, right? Confront, go before, to meet, confront, come to meet, receive, to go before, go in front, be in front, to lead, be beforehand, right? Come, to come in front. So even in the Lord's house, the gate that's east is the front of the house. Okay? I had a couple more scriptures, but I think this kind of proves my point. Okay? To the ends of the earth. We are on this side in the western hemisphere to the ends of the earth. We have been scattered to the utmost parts of the earth. And all those prophecies speaking on Babylon, right? Speaking on destruction, no building being built has not happened to ancient Babylon, to the Babylon that's in the east. Because that Iraq is where? In the east. Babylon the Great, Mystery Babylon, is the new Babylon over here in the Americas, the western hemisphere, and it's to the rear. Alright? So prophecies and the verbiage and the directions that the Lord left as clues, alright, to show us exactly where Babylon is, who it is, where it's located on the map, and how those prophecies are going to pan out. Let's close. I hope this lesson finds you well. I pray that it was edifying. Until next time, Shalom.